Now, the new year is upon us, and this is a time, of course, when people reach out to their friends and their families to wish them all the best. And it's a tradition that has particular importance here in France.
Bonne année. That's the way that French people say Happy New Year. Of course, a lot of countries say Happy New Year, but in France, there's kind of a formula. You say Happy New Year, and then a series of vœux or wishes that you hope will happen to the person that you're wishing a Happy New Year to. Now, these can be things like health, wealth, and love. In fact, every person has their own little formula.
Happy New Year, best wishes.
Good health, best wishes to everyone.
Health, happiness, love.
Now, people do really take saying bonne année so seriously, to the point where there's even a right way of doing it.
There's a bonne année etiquette, Jeannie. What are the cardinal rules of saying bonne année? Well, before the 1st of January, you don't say bonne année to anybody. It's actually bad luck. You say bonne fin d'année, wishing them a happy end of the year that's just closing. On January 1st, you say bonne année to everyone you run into that day. And then, and this is where it gets tricky, from January 1st to January 31st, you say bonne année to all your family, close friends, and colleagues the first time you see them. You have a month to do it, and it's really a marathon. You usually say bonne année followed by la bise, that traditional two-kiss that you give to say hello. So this goes for, close friends and family, but also your colleagues and possibly your boss. So get ready to kiss your boss. Now, arguably, the person who says bonne année the most is the French president. Actually, Charles de Gaulle started a tradition of giving a New Year's Eve address to French people. But throughout the month of January, the president actually travels across the country saying bonne année to to a lot of French people.
Now, back in the day when I first came here 30 years ago, people used to actually send bonne année cards. But of course, that's changed with time and particularly with technology.
Indeed, these days saying bonne année by, email, text message, or on social media is totally acceptable, but there are still a lot of die-hard card senders out there, and in fact, it's seen as kind of a form of resistance to modern technology.
The card itself means so much. Of course, you think about the people you send a text message to, but it's so impersonal.
I choose each card carefully for the person I'm going to send it to. It's a nice object to hold.
You can keep it. It's a nice souvenir. It triggers memories of the family who sent it.
It takes time to send cards. Time is a precious thing, so it's a beautiful present to give to people.
As I'm sure you're starting to figure out, this time of year is full of tradition here in France, particularly one that I love, the traditional cake.
The king cake, the galette des rois, or word du jour, or words du jour, I should say. This is a pastry fit for kings, and personally, it's one of my favorite French traditions, though it really makes that New Year's resolution to lose weight get off to kind of a tricky start. Now, you can see this is a king cake. We'll be eating it in just a little bit, Jeannie. And this tradition actually dates back to the 14th century. And interestingly, during the French Revolution, the name was changed to Gâteau de l'égalité, so the equality cake, because being a king was kind of frowned upon back there. French people eat king cake with friends and family to mark Epiphany, so the day when the three kings arrived in Bethlehem. Now, this happens on January 6th, but the truth is you can start eating king cake at the end of December and pretty much throughout the month of January. And if you're like my family, you binge eat king cake throughout the month of January. What in the world does a king cake taste like? Well, let's listen to a baker.
You take flaky puff pastry, and inside you put almond creme, and of course the porcelain prize, then more puff pastry, and you close it tight.
It's crunchy on the outside, moist on the inside.
It's all about tradition, but we mainly eat it because it's really delicious.
It's a great way to delay the end of the holidays and keep eating delicious things.
It really is delicious, especially with a glass of cider or a glass of champagne. Now, the classic galette you heard there is made with almond cream frangipane, but these days there are all sorts of different flavors. You have pistachio, apple, caramel. There's really something for everyone. They come in all shapes and sizes and all sorts of different quality and prices. Each person has their favorite spot.
And galettes can even vary depending on what part of the country you're in, too.
Indeed, the southern Provence region has its own galette, actually called a gâteau des rois. It's shaped like a crown. It's essentially an orange blossom flavored brioche with candied fruits on top. You'll be able to see it there in a sec. And it's essentially similar to the king cake that you can find in Spain and other Spanish-speaking countries. But whether it's a galette des rois or a gâteau des rois, there is a little prize in the cake. It's a little charm or a trinket that's called a fève, a bean, and it's thought to bring good luck and prosperity to whoever ends up with the fève in their slice. And if you get the fève, you get to wear a crown, and you get to be king or queen for the day, and you get to pick a king or a queen to share that day with, and it's kind of like playing the lottery, and as you can imagine, French people love this tradition.
I want to get the fève to put in my wallet. Apparently, it ensures your wallet is always full of money.
Usually we put it on the side so you don't cut into it. When it comes out of the oven, we don't know where it is. It's down to luck.
And what's so great about this is it really is down to luck because the baker doesn't even know where the fève is.
Indeed. Now, traditionally, it's the youngest person who goes under the table, who hides under the table and decides who gets each slice to make it fair. Now, originally, the fève represented the baby Jesus, but these days you get all sorts of crazy fèves, and they can be beautiful or completely kitsch. The main thing is you don't want to choke on it. So, Jeannie, as we saw, I brought in a king cake here. We're going to what they call tirer les rois. We're going to cut the cake up, and either you or I will be queen for the day. I'm going to go ahead and give you the crown because I don't have much luck in king cake.
All right, we'll just say that I got the fève for the moment. Thank you so much, Florence Villeminot, for that wonderful French connections. Don't forget, if you want to ask Flo about anything that's happening here in France or something you don't understand, you can always send her a tweet at Flo Villeminot.